Now, there have been writers in Indian English, and quite a few have been successful in the pursuits of whatever. But I don't see any evolution from those days when earlier there were only one or two books published, and that. Again, I come to my subject. This is a continuation of what I had been speaking about the other day, and it struck me that Indian writers in English, or as we call it, IWE, earlier it was known as Indo-Anglian writers, and now it is called as Indian writers in English, whatever. They are a different set of people themselves. They are educated, they have a background of English, and they have certain qualities which make them stand out in Indian society. Maybe an English education has changed them, or maybe it could be the knowledge they have gained through reading and a certain commitment towards the language, the English language, which they cannot forget so easily because they have been brought up in that particular mileage and that particular value system. So let's consider the Indian writers in English. There are quite a number of them now, and they all have their positives, their negatives. But what I've found sorely lacking is that they fail to evolve. The evolution hasn't come. Of what the idiom has not evolved, the syntax hasn't evolved. I find myself struggling when I'm confronted by the complexities of the language, how to translate them, how to reduce them to pithy sayings in English, which is very possible in English language because it's a very flexible language. And it's possible, but it's not happening. We tend to go into a large spectrum or sphere of writing rather than point out it in a very simple and pithy manner. And for that, the blame must go, I think, to those people who have. Of course, they have written novels which have sold a great number of copies, but they are still to evolve. They are still to evolve as Indian writers in English. The reason I don't know, I'm not aware, but it could be that those people who have established themselves, they have not experimented with the medium. They have not experimented with their writing to come and create a platform for young people to come forward and experiment with the language as such. They have not evolved as writers themselves, and how can they impart that to the others? That's a problem. And we have given them a lot of respect. We have given them coverage in news media. We have given them coverage in international the festivals which are going on. They have become stars in their own categories, but they have hardly ever descended to the struggling writers level and given them options about how they should write or what they should write. This is indeed painful because the young people who want to take up writing, they think about that particular aspect of the writing which they need to improve. And if it's not possible for a mature person, a mature writer to highlight these things and bring them, tell them this here's where you go, here's where you're right, and the path cannot be sort of set forward. I'm not saying everybody's not doing that, but some people may be doing it, but it's not obvious that it's happening. Maybe it's because of the general lack of literary sense among the people. Abroad, there used to be, there are writers who take the pains to tell a writer where he's going wrong, in which part he's going wrong, and how to correct it, or just point out where it is going wrong, and he will do the rest. And that has not been happening, and that's a very sad fact. It's a very sad thing that's happening in our societies. We are not encouraging these people who want to come forward. We are not encouraging those writers who want to make a difference. In my long career as a content writer and technical writer and even journalism, I was a journalist earlier, I have come across this, the editor or the senior editor, whoever it is in the high positions, they don't want to sort of point out the mistakes to the younger people who are working at the desk or reporters. They just make corrections and give it for fun or whatever printing processes to take place. They do not point out those mistakes where you're going wrong to those people who should be instructed in this particular area. They need guidance. They need people's valuable inputs. They need feedback. But of course, there is this tendency among writers who are well established. They have the power. They have the wherewithal. They have the essentials needed to impart these skills or technical aspects to those people who are struggling. But they are doing it. The reasons may be many. The reasons are countless. And one of the sad facts of Indian writing is that that's not happening. I've seen writers, I've read writers rather, of Africa, of Pakistan, of Sri Lanka, or even Malaysia and Singapore, and all these countries. These are also developing economies that have developed with us, where their idioms have changed, their idioms have evolved, and they have been able to have certain kind of literary idioms themselves. In English, I mean. I'm not saying about other languages, Hindi, Malayalam, Sinhala, whatever. I'm just talking about English, our language, which is really our language. And that idiom has not been reached in India, which already the Africans have, the Pakistanis have, the Sri Lankans have. It's sad to say that. It's sad to point it out. Maybe our leaders are a bit reluctant to impart their knowledge to the people who are coming after them. It could be so, it could be otherwise also. It could be that they do not trust the newer generation who is going to take over from them. And this takeover, believe me, there's no need to fear the takeover. If there is something taking over from you, it's good, and it's for the ultimate deification or ultimate what do you call the filtration, or what do you call the distillation of what is imponderables and what is a very miasmic state into something concrete and something solid which you can depend upon. So basically I would urge if somebody seeing this program is a good writer and a writer, please share thoughts with us. Share your thoughts with people who are struggling, and give them some tips once in a while so that they have something to go on. The frustration is immense, and they need you to really make some suggestions so that they can implement it in their lives and improve their writing. That's it. Thank you very much.